we might have a genuine contender for Film of the Year with this one. Trees of Peace is a new Netflix drama that just got its global release yesterday. It's written and directed by Lana Brown. It's set in 1994 and tells the story of 4 women from different backgrounds and beliefs who are trapped together in a tiny little room underneath a house during the Rwandan genocide of the Tutsi people. Fucking right off the bat, unbelievable. Unbelievable, amazing film. If this doesn't win something at the Academy Awards or the Oscars, I'll be very surprised. This is a fucking film awards wet dream, this movie. It is outstanding almost across the board. There is really nothing wrong with this film. Before I start talking about that, let's kind of discuss the movie a little bit more. So we set up with Anik and Francois. Francois is the husband to Anik, and Anik is one of the women who is trapped down in the room below the house along with the other 3. Anik and her husband are the ones who provide shelter for the other 3 women during the genocide. And Anik is a Hutu moderate. So the idea is that during these times, there was the Hutu people and the Tutsi people. There was a lot of classism, and essentially the 2 classes of people were seen as 2 different races, and one race felt they were better than the other race, and so we had a massive genocide against the Tutsi people. There were people from the Hutu side who didn't feel the way that the extremists on their side did, and they were called the Hutu moderates, and that is what Anik and her husband are. They don't have a problem with anybody else, they just want to live their life, they just want to do their thing, they don't feel or hate anybody else, but they're dragged into this because their people are the ones who are committing the genocide. We have Jeanette, who is a nun and a Tutsi woman, a woman of faith, and she is in there, praying to God and trying to keep everybody's spirits uplifted and everything like this. We have Peyton, who is an American girl over volunteering at the church, teaching children English and things like this. She's a young girl who is just trying to do her bit in the world and to try and help people and teach them. And we have Mutesi. Mutesi is also a Tutsi woman, and she is the one who is the final woman to come into the room. So she is brought in pretty much at the start of the film. The other 3 are already down there. And Francois, Anik's husband, he brings Mutesi down and gives her to Anik for safekeeping. And we have our film now. So the majority of this film is set inside the room. Think of films like Buried, for example, with Ryan Reynolds, where you have to get really creative with the way the camera looks around and the way the set itself is built so that you can take different types of shots. It is really claustrophobic, and there's moments throughout this film where you really do empathize with the women, and you can try to imagine and feel what they're feeling stuck in that tiny little hole in the ground with minimal food, minimal water, no light, minimal breathing room, a little tiny hole under a plank to go to the toilet, all 4 of them, no sanitary products, no nothing like that, and the fear of being, raped and killed and murdered and all these sorts of things just outside this tiny little grate in the window. This is a really ambitious way to tell a story, and everybody smashed it out of the park. The directing was fantastic, and the writing was unbelievable. You've got a movie that goes for about an hour and 40 minutes, and it is essentially just 4 people in a tiny little room talking to each other the entire time. To base your entire film essentially on dialogue, you need it to be really believable and really compelling. This shit is amazing. Like, some of the best writing I've ever seen in film. I thought everything that the characters were talking about and the way that they were acting, everything translated well to their dialogue, and it made sense, and it was believable and realistic and really emotional at times. Like, I fucking cried like 4 different times throughout this movie because I was like, holy shit. Just the way that the actresses are acting and the things that are coming out of their mouths, it's hard not to get swept up in the feeling that they must be feeling, So fucking hats off to absolutely everybody who made this film. I'm going out on a limb and I'm saying that this is going to be my favorite film for the year. I know I gave the Batman film of the year in like February or whenever it was, but this thing This film, Trees of Peace, is something that absolutely everybody needs to watch. I don't care if you're not a fan of dramas. I don't care if you're not a fan of historical retellings or dramatizations of historical things. This is just a fantastic character piece, and the way that the story unfolds and the way that the story is shown to us is unbelievable. So you know what score this is going to get. It's going to get pretty much a perfect score. That's why I'm going to give Trees of Peace a 10 out of 10. So tell me guys, has anybody watched Trees of Peace yet? If you have, comment down below, let me know what you thought about it. For Alana Brown to have written and directed this film by herself, and I couldn't find any other people being credited for the screenplay or for the directing or anything like that, this is a phenomenal achievement, and I really, really hope we see more from her soon. I don't know if this is her first feature film or anything like that, but if it is, fucking what a way to start. Even if it's not, like, some directors and some writers go their entire career trying to make a film like this or write a screenplay like this, and she has fucking smashed it. And of course, all the actresses who are in the film as well, the 4 women, all of them did an outstanding job as well, because it's easy enough to write something really well, but you need your actors to actually act it out and bring it to life, and all of them did it as well. All of them smashed it. Overall, this is a fucking phenomenal film. Go and watch it. It's on Netflix at the moment. It's an hour and 40 minutes. It's not terribly long, so you shouldn't get bored watching this movie. So yeah guys, that was the review. Hope you really enjoyed it. As always, click through to another video. We'll keep having some fun. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.